Good day, everyone, and welcome to an engaging roundtable discussion on the topic of veganism. Today, we're joined by a diverse group of thinkers who will share their perspectives on this multifaceted issue. We have Jesse, a nutrition scientist, Quinn, an ethical philosopher, Jordan, the vegan activist, Robin, a representative from the meat industry, and Jamie, a skeptical omnivore. Each participant comes from a unique background, providing us with a broad spectrum of insights on veganism. Let's dive into the conversation with a question directed at Jesse. Jesse, from a nutrition science perspective, can you tell us how a vegan diet compares to an omnivorous diet in terms of health benefits and potential risks?
Thank you for the introduction. Veganism, which excludes all forms of animal products from the diet, has been associated with several health benefits when well planned and balanced. A vegan diet is generally high in dietary fiber, vitamins C and E, folate, magnesium, and phytochemicals, and lower in calories, saturated fats, cholesterol, long-chain omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, calcium, zinc, and vitamin B12. Epidemiological studies have shown that vegans tend to have a lower body mass index, BMI, lower total cholesterol levels, and lower risk of heart disease, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and certain types of cancer. However, potential nutritional challenges must be acknowledged, such as ensuring adequate intake of vitamin B12, iron, calcium, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids. It's essential for vegans to plan their diet carefully, often with fortified foods or supplements, to prevent potential deficiencies and ensure a fully nutritious intake. As a nutrition scientist, I advocate for personalized dietary approaches that consider individual nutritional needs, and for some, a vegan diet can be a healthful and sustainable choice if managed properly.
Thank you, Jesse, for that comprehensive overview. As an ethical philosopher, I approach the topic of veganism from the standpoint of moral considerations and the implications of our food choices. The ethical argument for veganism often hinges on the concept of animal rights and welfare. It posits that animals, as sentient beings, should not be subjected to suffering and exploitation for human consumption or use. Veganism challenges the traditional view that animals are mere commodities and pushes for a re-evaluation of our relationship with all sentient beings. Philosophically speaking, many have argued, from a utilitarian perspective, that the greatest good is achieved by reducing suffering. Adopting a vegan diet is a direct way to decrease the overall pain and harm inflicted upon animals. In contrast, deontological ethics focus on the moral duty to treat animals as ends in themselves, rather than as means to an end. This duty-oriented reasoning supports veganism, advocating for animal rights akin to human rights. Another compelling point is the environmental aspect. The livestock industry is a significant contributor to climate change, deforestation, and biodiversity loss. From a philosophical and ethical standpoint, choosing a plant-based diet can be viewed as an action towards sustainable living and an expression of our responsibility towards future generations. To foster a more nuanced conversation on ethical concerns, I think it would be valuable to hear from Jordan, the vegan activist, to understand more about advocacy and the practicality of vegan ethics in our contemporary society.
I appreciate the insights from both Jesse and Quinn. As a vegan activist, my work revolves around educating the public on the benefits of veganism, not only for individual health, but also for ethical and environmental reasons. Quinn touched on a crucial point about animal welfare and rights. Animals, much like us, have the capacity to feel pain and joy. Through advocacy, I aim to amplify this simple but often overlooked fact and encourage people to make choices that do not contribute to animal suffering. Moreover, environmental sustainability is another pillar of vegan activism. The meat and dairy industries are substantial contributors to greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, water pollution, and a host of other environmental problems. Transitioning to a plant-based diet is a powerful way for individuals to reduce their carbon footprint and work towards preserving the planet for future generations. However, there are misconceptions that veganism is expensive, inaccessible, or inadequate in terms of nutrition. Addressing these misconceptions is vital. Education and advocacy work aligns with providing resources, guidance for proper nutrition, and highlighting that a plant-based diet can be affordable and accessible. Community support, such as sharing recipes, hosting cooking classes, and establishing community gardens can help ease the transition to a vegan lifestyle. Ultimately, veganism is about making compassionate and conscious decisions that benefit our health, animals, and the earth. I encourage robust discussion and exploration on these issues and actionable steps individuals can take to align their values with their lifestyle choices. I believe Robin, as a representative from the meat industry, might have a different perspective on this. It would be interesting to have their views on the points raised, especially about the environmental impacts of meat consumption and the industry's response to the growing demand for plant-based alternatives.
Thank you, Jordan, for opening the floor to a representative of the meat industry. It's important to recognize that food choices are highly personal and encompass a myriad of factors, including culture, economics, taste, and ethics. As a meat industry representative, I acknowledge the concerns raised regarding environmental sustainability and animal welfare. It's imperative that the industry addresses these issues and works towards making meat production more sustainable and ethical. The industry is indeed taking strides to reduce its environmental impact through various means, such as improving feed efficiency, better manure management, and adopting renewable energy sources. Innovation in animal husbandry practices is also aimed at enhancing welfare outcomes for livestock. It's worth mentioning that the meat industry contributes significantly to many economies and provides livelihoods to millions of people worldwide. The rise of veganism and the demand for plant-based alternatives have not gone unnoticed. Many companies within the industry are diversifying their product offerings to include plant-based proteins, recognizing the shifting consumer trends towards more ethical and sustainable options. This reflects a commitment to consumer choice and the understanding that a sustainable food system can include both animal and plant-based proteins. It's important to have a balanced dialogue and recognize that change within the food system must be approached holistically. Nutritional adequacy, environmental sustainability, and socioeconomic factors must all be considered as we find a viable path forward. The meat industry is evolving and is part of the conversation in driving positive change. For a holistic view of our food choices, let's hear from Jamie, the skeptical omnivore, on their perspective regarding veganism and the place of meat in our diets.
Thanks, Robin, for setting the stage for a skeptic's viewpoint. As a skeptical omnivore, my stance on veganism is one of cautious consideration. I appreciate the ethical and environmental arguments brought forth by Quinn and Jordan, and I recognize the nutritional aspects Jesse mentioned. However, I believe in a balanced approach to diet and sustainability, which doesn't necessarily exclude animal products. From a nutritional perspective, while a well-planned vegan diet can be complete, it requires diligence and often supplementation. It's worth noting that naturally occurring essential nutrients in animal products are easily accessible and bioavailable, which for some individuals may be crucial due to specific health issues or dietary restrictions. Ethically, I think it's important to recognize that there's a spectrum of practices within animal agriculture, from inhumane factory farming to responsible, regenerative farming practices that respect animal welfare and contribute positively to our ecosystems. Blanket dismissals of all meat consumption can overlook the potential benefits of these sustainable farming practices. On the environmental front, it's undeniable that industrial-scale meat production has significant drawbacks. Nonetheless, I believe in a multifaceted solution that can include reduced meat consumption and support for sustainable meat production, rather than a wholesale shift to veganism. This could provide a more pragmatic approach for those who may find a complete transition to veganism challenging due to personal, economic, or social reasons. To sum up, while I support the principles of ethical treatment of animals and environmental preservation, I advocate for a pluralistic approach that encompasses a variety of dietary practices. This approach should be inclusive, recognizing the different contexts in which people make food choices, and promoting sustainability across all types of diets. Let's now turn the discussion back to the moderator to guide us through some of the insights we've shared and see what questions or points the audience would like to explore. Thank you, Jamie, and thanks to each of our panelists for your insightful contributions to this discussion on veganism. We've traversed through the nutritional, ethical, environmental, economic, and personal aspects of veganism and its alternatives, hearing viewpoints from various perspectives. Before we bring this roundtable to a close, I'd like to open the floor for any final remarks from our participants. Each of you has highlighted different facets of veganism, and it would be great to give our audience some closing thoughts. Looking at the bigger picture, where do you each see the future of food sustainability and ethics heading, considering the current trends in veganism and meat consumption? Jesse, let's start with you for the final round of remarks on where you believe nutritional science fits into the future of sustainable and ethical eating.
In closing, nutritional science has a significant role in guiding us towards a future where both sustainability and ethics are at the forefront of our eating habits. We have a growing body of research that shows the impact of diet not only on individual health, but also on our environment. The trend towards plant-based eating, including veganism, reflects a shift in consumer awareness and a desire for dietary patterns that are ethical and sustainable. Looking ahead, I foresee nutritional science continuing to evolve by focusing on precision nutrition, personalized dietary recommendations that consider an individual's genetic profile, microbiome, and lifestyle factors. This can help tailor vegan diets that are nutritionally complete and beneficial for health, overcoming the previously mentioned challenges related to nutrient deficiencies. Additionally, research into alternative sources of protein, such as lab-grown meat and plant-based options, will likely play a critical role in shaping a more sustainable food system. Nutritional scientists have a duty to ensure these innovations meet the population's health needs while minimizing the environmental footprint. In essence, the future is about finding the balance between human health, ethical considerations, and environmental sustainability. As we gather more evidence, we must also focus on educating the public and policymakers to create informed, ethical, and sustainable food policies. Nutritional science doesn't just tell us what to eat, it informs us of the broader consequences of our food choices and how we can make a positive impact for ourselves and the planet. With this in mind, I am eager to see how the dialogue between consumers, producers, scientists, and policymakers unfolds to create an inclusive, sustainable, and ethically conscious food system. Let's hand it back to the moderator to conclude our session and field any questions from our audience.
Thank you, Jesse, for your closing thoughts on the crucial interplay between nutrition science and the future of our food systems. Each of your perspectives has given us a rich understanding of the complexities and considerations surrounding veganism. As moderator, I want to thank all of our participants, Jesse, Quinn, Jordan, Robin, and Jamie, for the respectful and thought-provoking discussion we've had today. This dialogue has illustrated that while we may have differing opinions and beliefs, we all share a common interest in promoting health, ethical treatment of animals, and environmental sustainability. To our viewers, we hope this discussion has provided valuable insights and prompted you to think about your own food choices and their impacts. Please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, like, and subscribe for more content like this. Remember, this roundtable discussion was entirely AI-generated, including all the statements from our panelists. There was no human input aside from the initial topic of veganism. Your engagement is crucial in shaping the dialogues we have, and we look forward to bringing you more discussions in the future. Thank you for joining us.